What's up everyone, it's Ohan, it's Friday, and this week we are talking about self-care. I feel like I need to be watching everyone's video this week instead of making one for other people, because something I struggle with and have always struggled with is knowing how and when to take care of myself. And it's so directly related to being trans. And why I say that is that when I was in a questioning period of first, what is my sexuality, and then what is my gender, I felt really, really fucked up and really, really terrible about myself. And because I felt so terrible about myself, I felt so disgusting that I felt the need to harm myself. So when you're coming from a place of where self-harm is familiar, it's like you don't just wake up one day and you're like, now I know exactly how to take care of myself. It becomes like a completely new foreign kind of concept of like, oh, I need to be nice to myself. Like, wait, what? Hold on, how do I do that? Like, it's like I've never really learned how to do that, and I'm still learning how to do that. And so hopefully this video is kind of just like a a synopsis of why it's been so difficult for me to learn how to take good care of myself, and why there are often conflicting feelings associated with it, like guilt. Either way, like if I'm not taking good care of myself, I feel guilty. If I am taking good care of myself, I feel guilty. So it's just like, oh, it's a fucking shit show. A little backstory about my life and my upbringing and why I am the way I am. My parents basically instilled in me this feeling of responsibility, and I think something that I put pressure on myself is also I'm a perfectionist. And so when you put those things together, being a perfectionist and somebody who assumes great responsibility, it's really hard to kind of know when to say no, when to step back, and know when you need to take care of yourself. And really it I have these vivid memories. My mom is a nurse, and so her exact words, quote verbatim, is, unless your limbs are severed, you are going to school. So there was no like, I need a personal day. No, no. Unless my limb was severed, I had to go to school. And then I think with my dad, him not being from the United States and him being from a place where education was really like your key to doing whatever you wanted, and I think for him too, education was kind of like your ticket to go somewhere else. It was just valued very highly in my family. So the combination of that, I think, like, was basically like education is the key to your success, and so anything that would impede my education was not really, I don't want to say not allowed, but it was discouraged, or really there was a lot of pressure on me, I think both parental and then also myself, to perform a certain way and to meet certain expectations. And when you have that much pressure and stress on yourself, especially when you're a kid, you learn very quickly to kind of neglect your needs as a human being, whether that be very basic like sleep, or your social needs. In order to perform up to a certain way, you can't really have the kind of normal childhood. I want to make it sound like I had this like horrible childhood, but I just think that there were certain priorities that my parents had that kind of molded me into who I am, which is a good thing, and I'm fortunate for that. But I do think a side effect is like knowing when I'm doing too much, and having this guilt that I'm not performing up to a certain way, is something I really struggle with. And then throw in the whole sexuality thing and the whole gender thing, and I've just felt so ashamed of myself, and I felt like such a disappointment and like a freak, and like, God, I mean, the internalized homophobia and transphobia, which is another topic coming up, so more on that later. But all of that stuff just like eroded me, like it just would eat at me like a fucking parasite. And I felt the need to punish myself because of these thoughts and feelings that I was having. And so the way that I would do that is I would deny myself things because I didn't think I deserved them. And one of those things, um, is food. So yeah, trigger warning, I'm going to talk about eating disorders a little bit. I but certainly by no means will mention numbers, behaviors, or anything of that sort, because I want to make this as least triggering as possible. But if you do think that a mention of this topic will be triggering to you in some way, please just, watch a video about something else, because I do think it's relevant and important to mention it in this context. But I will do my best to, be mindful that it's a difficult thing to talk about. So yeah, so I would deny myself basically a thing that you need to live. I think I used it much more as a form of self-harm. I don't think I really fit the stereotype of why somebody would develop an eating disorder. I think for me it was much more about an uncomfortableness in my body and a feeling of shame about what I was thinking about, and a feeling of that I wasn't deserving of a healthy life, really, or I wasn't deserving of things that everyone else deserved. That also trickled into relationships. Like, I had very few relationships because I felt like I was undeserving of them. And really just a whole shit ton of negative views about myself, and just, oh god, bad. It was a bad time. It was a really bad time. So it was a time when I completely neglected my needs as a human being. And so now, as I am basically digging myself out of the massive trench of my early 20s, I have to learn how to take care of myself, and it's fucking hard. It is really, 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 really hard. When you come from a place where self-harm is familiarity, how do you turn that around, and how do you approach your life from a place of self-care and self-love while also getting the shit done that you need to get done? Because a lot of times, the shit that you need to get done completely conflicts with taking care of yourself. So some tips, some advice, I don't know if I have that, but I'll just share my experiences with it. I think I'm getting a lot better at listening to my body. I think your body, the best advice, I think, I don't know if I read it or if I heard it from someone, but when your body is in pain in some way, or when your mind is in pain in some way, it is it's a form of communication. Your body is trying to tell you something. So, like, if you're at the gym and you're doing something that hurts, your body is trying to tell you, hey, this isn't good for me and you should probably stop. Pain is actually a communicator, and it's something that we need to listen to and take very seriously, because it is directly related to our health. I think where I'm struggling greatly is with human connections, because that is a basic human need. There is a social element, and I think I find it very, very, very difficult to fulfill that, because I like avoiding people and I like avoiding human contact, and even avoiding friends. Like, people I like, I'm avoiding them. Why? Because I don't know, because it's a problem. I don't know why it is, but that's just how I am. And so I have to really, really, really find it within me to make plans and follow through with them, and especially in this kind of, I don't know, I hate, like, in this day and age, but really in this day and age, people are really flaky, myself included, and that is something I, like, completely need to combat. Because when I do hang out with friends and I do see people, it is the ultimate form of self-care. I think it's so important. It's so important, and it's definitely the thing that I am missing the most in my life currently, is taking care of this social part of my life. And it sucks, because I feel like it's one of those things where I just always want to say no. If anything social comes up, I want to say no. It's like, do you want to go out and get a drink? No, I don't want to do that. Do you want to meet up and do this? No, I don't want to do that. It's like, do you want to stay at home and watch Nova about alternate universes from the 90s? Absolutely, yes. I would love to do that by myself. It's tough. It's tough to meet up with people, and it's tough to go out. I also think I have this, like, craving for it, because I'm missing it so much in my life. Not to be all, like, super sad and depressing, but some people just have a harder time fulfilling that need. And so, again, anything that comes from a place of denial, like denying yourself care in some way, um, it's like it takes kind of extra strength to get past that place of denying yourself and allowing yourself to enjoy, allowing yourself to accept, allowing yourself to Thurish. I was gonna say thurish, but I think it's flourish. But there's a word too, allowing yourself to thrive. That's the word. And flourish. Thurish. It's really hard to do that when you think you don't deserve it. I was literally about to say, I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll see you next time, and my phone ran out of space. And I did not want to end a video like that. And so here we are on a different day, a different hour. I'm sorry that this is so poorly put together, but, you know, I didn't even want to try to attempt to say all the things I said, because it was so deeply personal and so difficult to talk about that I was just like, no, I can't do it again. I can't do it again. It's not going to happen. I can't do it again. I'll just say bye another time. Also, I'm uploading this super late because I didn't have time to edit. Speaking of self-care, you know, it's tough. It's really tough. So I hope you had a great weekend, and I will see you next time.